I have made a big controversial statement to be thought about. I also always used to think that, so existence first and then knowledge. But no. I'll give you one more, a very powerful argument for this. Argument for what? Things cannot exist apart from knowledge. Things cannot exist apart from awareness. What is the argument? Very simple argument. Think about it. Two things can exist separately and independently if they can be experienced separately. Let me show you. Here is a flask, and here is a piece of paper. The two can exist separately. I can show you the flask. You can experience the flask separately without the paper, and you can experience the paper separately without the flask. And you can experience them together also. If you can experience them separately, you can say, yes, the flask exists independent of the paper. The paper exists independent of the flask. The two are separate, independent things. So, now apply it to knowledge or awareness. What can exist independently of awareness? Remember, the principle of existing independently is, can you experience it separately? So is there anything that can be experienced separately apart from awareness? Is there anything in this universe which can be experienced apart from awareness? It's a trick question, because when you say experienced, awareness is already included there. Without awareness, no experience is there. Without knowledge, no experience is there. So, knowledge or awareness, I'm using the terms indiscriminately. Without that, you cannot have any experience. So there's no question of experiencing anything apart from awareness. Whatever has to be experienced in awareness. Therefore, there's no question of having anything independent of awareness. All right. Not easy to grasp, but just keep it in mind. Now we'll move faster. Here, there's a chain of logic here. Existence of objects cannot be proved, cannot be claimed apart from knowledge. Knowledge cannot exist without a knower. For every knowledge, there must be a knower. If there is an experience, there must be an experiencer. If there's seeing, there must be a seer. So knowledge depends on a knower. And the knower depends on awareness, consciousness. We are all knowers. What do I mean by that? We all see, hear, smell, taste, touch. We think, imagine, love, hate. All this is a kind of experience, knowledge. All of it depends on awareness. Minus awareness, minus other things. Without eyes, I'm still aware, but I'm aware that I'm blind. Without ears, I'm still aware, but I'm aware that I'm deaf. Without awareness, nothing. If you think about it, it just becomes blank. Nothing, it just disappears. Without awareness, there is no knower. Awareness or consciousness. Let me use the word consciousness. Now, what have we got here? Things do not exist apart from knowledge. Knowledge does not exist apart from the knower. Knower does not exist apart from consciousness. Consciousness is fundamental to knower and known. Knower, knowledge, known, or at least knower and known. Knower, knowledge, known, if you say, use, that is the Sanskrit word is triputi, the 3 points of knowledge. Knower, knowledge, and the known. Or simply, knower and known, subject and object, they both depend on consciousness. One more brick for the building block which I'm making, the foundation. If something depends on something else and cannot exist independently, this is called falsity. In Vedanta term falsity, a thing is false or Mithya, does not mean that it does not exist. It does not exist independently. Classic example is given, heat of the fire. So you have a hot potato, it's boiling. Does the heat belong to the potato? No, it was cold earlier, and if you keep it outside for a long time, it will become cold again. Heat does not belong to the potato. The heat of the potato is borrowed. Does not belong to it. It's false there. It just appears there. But where did it get it from? Boiling water. Does the boiling water have heat of its own? No, it was cold earlier. Now it's hot, but it will be cold later. Where did it get heat from? From the pan. Does the pan have heat of its own? No. Unless it's an electric pan or something. No, it doesn't have heat of its own. It gets heat from the fire underneath. So the heat which is in the pan and in the water and in the potato, borrowed. Vedanta calls it false, in the sense that it cannot exist by itself. But the fire, does it have heat of its own? Yes. As long as the fire exists, the way we understand fire, it must be hot. So it has intrinsic heat. It has intrinsic heat, not borrowed heat. So the intrinsic existence, it belongs to consciousness. It does not belong to the knower or the known. Both the known and the knower, they depend on consciousness. Because they depend on consciousness, neither knower nor known is real. It's not intrinsically real. Consciousness alone is intrinsically real. The duality of knower and known, they appear in awareness and disappear in awareness or in consciousness. They are not real in themselves. Now the connection to what I was saying will become obvious now. This knower and known, they come in pairs, knower and known, subject and object. Notice, in the waking world, we are there. You are the knower, and this is known. Remember, as I said, none of it is new. It's all what we are experiencing. We're just pointing it out. Right now, you are the knower, and this world is your known. In dreams, you are the knower, the dreamer, the knower, and whatever you dream about is the known for you. In deep sleep, there is no separate knower. Knower and known are merged together in a unity, and there is just this blankness. Let's just call it the known, that blankness known. So you have a deep sleeper and which knows only blankness, just complete cessation. In each case, knower and known, they are all these pairs, knower and known pairs are false. The reality underneath is this consciousness. Three knowers and three pairs and three knowns. Three knowers, waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. And three knowables, waking world, the dream world, and the deep sleep darkness. They all appear and disappear one after another in one reality which lies underneath all of them, and that is consciousness. So that consciousness is the fourth. The self has four aspects. What are the three aspects? Waker and waker's world. Dreamer and dreamer's world. Deep sleeper and deep sleep darkness. All three are known to us. What the Upanishad is pointing out, there is a fourth. The fourth is the reality in which these three appear and disappear. And that is what is going to be pointed out. One more point. The waker's world is called the gross or the physical world. Here we have the feeling there is a world out there, and with my sense organs, I am contacting the world out there. I am transacting with the world out there. This is called the gross world. Gross not in an American sense. And Americans have a different meaning for gross. In a physical sense, physical world or gross world. And then we have a dream world, which is a subtle world, sukshma. And then we have the deep sleep world, which is technically called the causal world, the causal state. Causal, not casual. The causal state. So three, karana, sukshma, sthula. Causal, subtle, and gross. Waking, the deep sleep, dream state, and the waking state. All these three states, they are all in Maya. And what underlies these three states is the Atman, the pure consciousness, which we really are, the fourth aspect of the self. So this is going to be our inquiry. I know that's a lot to be going on. Don't lose sleep over it. Go into the deep sleep state. We will go over it again and again in the next few classes. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.